What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including NXT 2.0, rest in peace, a shock title change, Roman Reigns' title loss is complex, Roman Reigns' next victim, opponent, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out Wrestlelamia.co.uk and our wrestling channel, Incredible. And now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at NXT 2.0, rest in peace. Atop of today's news is the demise of NXT 2.0 and a reminder of the sweeping changes being made to the WWE by Triple H. Last night's show ended with a video package narrated by WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels. Mr. WrestleMania reiterated that NXT has always been about developing the future stars of tomorrow and that NXT is constantly evolving. The video concluded with the debut of the new NXT logo, one that harkened back to the classic black and gold logo, but one that was different in its own way. The importance of this change cannot be overstated, as it shows Triple H has no qualms about reversing Vince McMahon's decisions he disagrees with. McMahon's overhaul of NXT upset some of the fans of the black and gold brand, and while there have been some breakout stars such as Braun Breaker, Triple H apparently feels NXT was doing fine with producing future main event stars. The real test, of course, besides the ratings, will be how many NXT stars become stars when they graduate to the main roster. While it's believed Vince McMahon felt that NXT failed in creating main event stars, McMahon critics argue Vince failed to push NXT's top stars, pointing to disappointing pushes for Keith Lee and Karrion Kross as two examples of McMahon's booking shortcomings. Now, we've all heard the saying, he who laughs last laughs the loudest, and in Triple H's case, he has an incredible reversal of fortune as he's gone from watching Vince McMahon dismantle everything he built up on NXT to assuming control of the company's creative aspect and working closely with his wife, who just happens to be the co-CEO of WWE. These changes seemed like a part of Triple H's shift in booking the WWE overall. Although Triple H noted in the past that booking NXT is different than booking the main roster, it's difficult to look at the main roster's focus on younger stars and NXT graduates like Dexter Lumis, Johnny Gargano, Karrion Kross, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, without wondering if Raw and SmackDown will be booked more like NXT. What do you guys think of this latest move by Triple H? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a shock title change. Now, adding the North American Championship to the Bloodline's ever-growing array of titles, as Solo Sikoa, who recently debuted on SmackDown, paid a visit to NXT to capture the North American strap from Carmelo Hayes. Apparently, the WWE feels that the Bloodline need to have championship gold around their waist, or the group is somehow diminished. Ironically, NXT just stated it's the home of future stars, and yet Solo, who was promoted to the main roster, has returned for no other reason than to give the Bloodline another title. Granted, we're happy that the WWE didn't have Solo beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, but is he going to compete on both NXT and SmackDown with the belt? But as we're about to see, Roman's stranglehold on the World Championship is leading to a complex situation in WWE that they can't escape. As next up, Roman Reigns' title loss is quote-unquote complex. The WWE has a problem that's fast approaching legendary status: how to protect Roman Reigns so he goes undefeated into WrestleMania 39 while also freeing up one or both of the World Championships around his waist. Well, WrestleVotes recently tweeted about the WWE's dilemma, saying, "The situation with the world titles and Roman Reigns is complex according to a source. They will go into Mania season and WrestleMania itself with two champions, but they also don't want Reigns losing at all prior. I'm told Triple H and co are open to all things creatively here." Now, they may have to adopt a smart strategy and think outside the box. One method being discussed is to strip Reigns of one of his titles. While that's an option, it seems like a cheap way out. Another would be to put Reigns into a triple threat or fatal four-way match with only one of the titles on the line. We feel that while this is convoluted, it's not as cheesy as simply vacating one of the titles. Ultimately, the idea of Roman needing one or both titles against The Rock is absurd. We've discussed how this match will be a dream match that needs no extras, such as a title at stake. Furthermore, WrestleMania 39 is already sold out. Well, almost. But does anyone think The Rock is going to win a World Championship and go on to defend it? At best, he'll step down and the WWE will run a tournament to crown a new champion. Lastly, if The Rock wins, what rub is Roman giving the People's Champion that he doesn't already have? While we've heard the story of the WWE wanting Reigns to reach legendary status, i.e. a wrestler like Hulk Hogan and Bruno Sammartino, The promotion is so obsessed with this, it's doubtful the WWE will ever make a change to have Roman drop the belt and give someone the rub. But who's his next opponent? Or rather, victim. With WrestleMania still 6 months away, the WWE still has to find few opponents for Roman Reigns to crush before he enters the showcase of the Immortals. However, with Reigns having steamrolled just about every credible opponent, who's left? While there has been talk of the WWE recycling some of Roman's past opponents, such as Kevin Owens, who has made it clear he's not done with the Tribal Chief, Dave Meltzer said that's unlikely to happen, at least at Crown Jewel. It's believed that the head of the table will defend the Undisputed Championship next at Crown Jewel, as he's not scheduled to appear at Extreme Rules. I was told it's not Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens, even though both have teased it, and based on the build, one would expect those two matches at some point. So that would seem to favour either McIntyre or Karrion Kross, unless they've got somebody from the past, but at this point they've done Goldberg and they've done Lesnar to death. While a Karrion Kross vs Roman Reigns match could be epic, does the WWE want to have Kross put Reigns over before Kross has even had a chance to establish himself as a top star on SmackDown? Now, in light of Kross's disastrous initial run on Raw, he won't benefit from a loss to Reigns. In fact, if the WWE is serious about Reigns eventually putting a younger star over by losing to them, Kross seemed like an ideal candidate. Rumour has it that the WWE feels that Karrion has main event written all over him, but at this point it's better to protect him from Reigns than to have him be the latest coulda woulda shoulda challenger who seemed to have a victory in his hand but came up short. Next up, a top star turns babyface. But speaking of one of Roman's challengers, there is a report coming from PW Insider that Kevin Owens is now officially a babyface. WWE has officially moved Kevin Owens to the babyface side of their internal Raw roster. Now, although it's been obvious that the WWE has been pushing the prize fighter ever since Triple H took over creative, he's been acting heelishly up until recently. However, Owens' recent confrontation with Austin Theory seems to have begun his change from heel to hero. Fans who watched last night's Raw witnessed KO calling out Theory and daring him to step up, check his ego and stand out from the many flashes in the pan he's seen before. Austin healed up by dismissing KO's advice, leading to a brawl in a match for the 19th September Raw. There could be some excellent matches if Kevin Owens is a babyface. He could renew his feud with Seth Rollins, clash with the Judgment Day, or even team up at some point with Sami Zayn to take on the Usos. After all, it seems inevitable that the Bloodline will kick Zayn out, likely leading to Owens helping him get revenge. And finally, is Wardlow changing things up? Last but not least, is current TNT champion Wardlow thinking of changing things up? You may recall us mentioning a recent interview where the big man discussed feeling like he was in a holding pattern following his huge win over MJF at Double or Nothing. And now Wardlow seems ready to do something about it. During an interview with the Daily Gazette, he commented, "There are some changes. I'm just entering a new era in my life. I'm evolving. Things are changing. I've just become a hungrier, more intense version of myself, and I'm ready to display that. I'm ready to let the rest of the world feel that." AEW hasn't been doing Wardlow any favours with its booking of him. While he captured the TNT Championship shortly after parting ways with MJF, AEW has given him a veritable who's that of challengers. Indeed, Wardlow didn't even defend his title at the recent All Out pay-per-view, instead competing in a 6-man tag match alongside FTR against Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. AEW needs to find a better use for Wardlow than delivering powerbomb symphonies to mid-carders. They're not lacking in big men who could provide some house brawls for Wardlow, but while it takes time to book these matches and the drive to find a spot, a champion shouldn't be booked this way, especially a homegrown star that fans and pundits have compared to Goldberg. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.